Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
The 5 levels of industry plant.
Every time an artist blows up overnight, the internet does what the internet does best. The term
These
industry
are the
plant gets
five?
thrown around so much now that
What?
those are the five, like the people concerning those levels.
I guess, yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
it's hard to even know what it means anymore. See, there's levels to this. And let's start with the ones who hide it best. The organic.
Step on the glass, staple your tongue up.
But if it's organic, is it a plant? To me,
I
organic
guess
is...
it is levels, because if I guess you go at the opposite range of the
So,
spectrum.
okay, so I guess it's organic would be not a plant then. If level 1, organic / not a plant. Okay.
These are the artists who still need you to believe that they started from nothing. The story has to feel real. The struggle, the discovery, the breakthrough, the indie darlings who got
No, they're saying they're still plants. They just make you feel like they're not plants.
They're organic plants.
Oh, wow.
lucky with a viral moment. But if you look closer, their bedroom is in a $1 million house that their parents own, or that viral moment was coordinated by PR agents and label executives. They keep the aesthetics to DIY, but behind the scenes, there was professional management going on the whole time, even before you knew their name. Artists like Billie Eilish.
I've wanted to do this like my whole life, so I'm a little shaky.
Now, she's talented, but the whole "we recorded Ocean Eyes in my brother's bedroom" thing, that's not the whole story. What they don't mention is Phineas was already working in the music industry. Their mom was an actress, their dad was in bands, they grew up in LA, already around the entertainment industry. Billie was even homeschooled specifically so she could pursue music.
You grew up homeschooled.
Yeah.
Did that shape who you are and who you will be? Because
Yeah.
And by the time Ocean Eyes dropped, Phineas had already written and produced for other artists. He had a manager, he understood how the machine worked. Interscope didn't just stumble on him on SoundCloud. The setup was already there. See, there was this guy named Danny Rukerson, who became her manager. And Danny was business partners with Brandon Goodman, and Brandon managed Fall Out Boy. So Billie already had deep industry connections from the start. See, the organic plant, they're the smartest plays because they keep the indie credibility while having made.
Interesting. Wow. I didn't know that.
It makes you feel a little funny.
Well, to be honest, I didn't really know much about Billie to begin with. I did kind of think she, like, was like a YouTube sensation in a sense. Like, she came up on YouTube kind of from nowhere. I didn't know all this, though. This is interesting. Huh. And I'm sure this is not to single out Billie. Billie's just one of them, but...
major label
Okay.
resources. They play it cool. That's not the case.
Who's the other people?
They keep the indie credibility while having major label resources. They play it
Left is Lordy? No?
cool.
Honestly. The third girl...
Plays because they keep the indie credibility while having major label resources. They
The third girl, the third from the left, is familiar, but I don't know who she is. The one on the right, I do not recognize her at all.
I don't know. Only Billy I know.
Oh wait, it says. Oh, that's the obvious. That's next. Okay, wait. Do we have a? Oh, the organic only Billie Eilish. So why I said Billie Eilish,
Maybe
but
go to the beginning because he had the same slide in the beginning.
I don't honestly. I don't want to lose where we at. It's okay.
Oh, it's okay. Go back.
Where?
Go back a little bit more because he opened up in the beginning. Oh,
I don't know. Rochelle, it's fine.
the case with level 2, the obvious.
Kid Leroy, Doechii, Iggy Azalea, and Ice Spice. Okay.
What's down there? For ages, man could only wonder. Until 1950s.
These are the artists who don't exist one day, and then the next day they're on every playlist. The push is so aggressive that even casual listeners notice that something's a little off. You see them on festival lineups before they have a fan base, getting late night TV slots before they have a catalog, collaborating with A-listers on their second single. The machine gives them all the signs of success before they've even earned it. They'll have 50 million streams, but you never heard anybody play their music in real life. They're trending on X, but nobody's actually talking about them. They're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. They're betting that if they push hard enough and fast enough, eventually fans will follow. Most of the time it doesn't work, or it only works temporarily. But when it does work, it works fast. Now, she's cliche to talk.
I mean, based on these, 4 examples that he gave, it does seem like it only, not like one hit wonder. I don't want to say they're one hit wonders, but they're like one period wonders for like 1 year wonders, and after that they kind of irrelevant. Kid Laroi, that song with Justin Bieber, "Stay," was super big, but aside from that, irrelevant. Ice Spice, she had a little moment. What, 2023, I think. That whole year. Iggy Azalea also with Fancy. Black Widow, that was like a year or 2 year span that she had, and after that she faded. And Doechii, I don't know. I don't know if she's still in that irrelevancy or she's already irrelevant, because we just saw her with Alameda, I think. That video was not really that popular. Considering, how big Doechii was for Anxiety, I feel like that video should have gotten more views because of Doechii's name. So I don't know.
About at this point, but the artist most people talk about in this category has to be Ice Spice.
Once again, Ice Spice.
She went from unknown to featuring with major artists in a few months. Munch dropped in August of 2022, and by October she was already being called the Princess of Rap. And then she was at the Met Gala by May. Also, her music video blew up on World Star Hip Hop, and I can tell you, being in the music industry myself, World Star charges big money to feature you. But if you look even closer
really?
than that, her label 10K Projects is run by Elliot Grange, and Elliot is the son of Lucian Grange, who runs Universal Music Group. So it's not just the money, it's also the access and every door being open for you at the same time. Another one is Kid Laroi.
Go, go, go. She always be talking like she no.
Now, he's a controversial one because there's signs of him being an industry plant, but his upbringing and his start in the music industry is pretty highly debated. It's hard to really know for sure. First off, his dad was a music producer and sound engineer, and his mom was a talent manager. And after some digging, I found out that she started a management company called Mama Capone Management to help Kid Laroi and the people he was working with get on the map. And it goes a little bit deeper because the claim is that he grew up in poverty in the ghettos of Australia, but some of these early photos I found would say otherwise. Of course, I wasn't there, so we still can't say for sure.
Maybe that's
but
poor for Australia, though.
Yeah,
Because Australia is kind of crazy.
what do you mean?
Like, the cost of living in
Oh,
Australia
expensive?
is expensive, so that he could be poor in Australia, but not poor
Right.
in other places.
I think, yeah, we can't assume that
Relative.
the ghettos in Australia look the same exact as the ghettos
Yeah.
in the States. I think, different ghettos in different countries look different. Doesn't mean like, and maybe the word ghetto it has a certain, when you say ghetto, you imagine a certain thing in your mind, but it could just be like low,
Well, you have in mind
income
what
area.
you have in your area.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like it could just be like low income area.
World features and the Justin Bieber collabs, it felt like he was being marketed as the next global superstar out of nowhere. And the most recent person people like to throw in this
Honestly, the Justin Bieber collab, I feel like it's because they both sound the same. Like one person on that song. That to me makes perfect sense, because up until doing these reactions, I didn't know there was two people on that song.
Honestly, I think it's also smart for the artist, if you see your competition coming out, you work with them immediately to kind of like stop the dialogue of it being you versus them. So it's you together. And ultimately, I do feel like at the end, the bigger star, the star that was there first usually wins, especially if they get in quickly, immediately with that star.
category is Doechii. Now, when you factor in her versatility and her stage presence, I think it's hard to say that she's not talented or doesn't deserve recognition. But everything was just so aggressive with her rise that people were calling her a plant before giving her a chance. So she signed to TDE, Kendrick's label. They're an independent label, but they got ties with the big three record companies, Sony, Universal, and Warner. She basically went from up-and-coming artist to winning a Grammy for Best Rap Album overnight. And her rise seems legit when you first look into it.
But
Because
I
at one point,
think also it's reflecting the music industry too, because I do think there's a gap now where it's an opening for many artists to really make it to the top, especially with the use of social media. And of course, if they have connections, why not use them? I don't think this is like to bash people who are connected in some way, in some form, that we discover, oh, they have like a family member that's in the producing industry. I think like that's not common for most people, but if you have it, why not use it for your advantage?
she just seemed like your average YouTuber that was on the come up. But it's pretty clear that she's had some big label backing before we all knew who she was. It's one thing to develop an artist's talents and skills, but it's another thing to spend major label money on plays and views.
I mean, I get kind of what he's saying with Doechii, because Doechii did have that Katy Perry collab. And, you know, Katy Perry, although she's...
Katy Perry was on the decline.
Yeah, but she's still a big name. Though she was nobody before that. Like literally, she
I
was nobody.
Yeah, but I think this is again like the situation where that bigger artist is trying to be relevant again in this time period. And if you see a potential of an artist to like help you get back to the top to catapult to fame,
But
I think you would collab with that
you would
artist.
still have go collab with an artist that's somewhat relevant. Though she was a nobody, like literally never, like we never heard of her before that.
She had like a niche base that was very popular. Maybe you haven't heard of her, but we can't speak for everybody.
But what happens when an artist presents themselves as not having any money and no family and being 16 in the middle of Miami? Amethyst Amelia Kelly, aka Iggy Azalea.
First things first, I'm the realest. Drop this and let the whole world feel it.
A white girl from Australia. But you
A lot of Australians in this category, huh?
would never know that from listening to her fake urban southern accent.
Better check my tax bracket. What you think was gonna happen? Nagging, now he's leaving, and y'all broke up like madmen.
She became obsessed with southern hip hop. And during that time, it was so different and unexpected, T.I. couldn't help but roll out the red carpet for her. I mean, he signed her, and they basically constructed an entire persona. They got her on big interviews, featured with major artists like Charlie XCX, and the machine took off from there. At first, everybody embraced her, even the black community. She was invited to the cookout, as we like to say. But as time went on and racial tension started to flare back up in America, she got caught up in the culture vulture conversations. And once the culture rejected her, I mean, Machine couldn't save her. Some of it started with the feud between Iggy Azalea and Azalea Banks after Iggy won Best Rap Album at the Grammys.
You know what I mean? That Iggy Azalea shit is not better than any fucking black girl that's rapping today, you know? And when they give those awards out, because the Grammys are supposed to be like accolades for artistic excellence, you get what I mean? Iggy Azalea is not excellent.
The theys purchase things that they see themselves in, right? And businesses capitalize on that.
And that's fine. So put her in the pop category. Put her with Katy Perry and put her and Miley Cyrus in the same fucking box together.
Don't put her in hip hop.
Don't put her in hip hop.
But she's rapping over a beat though.
But just because she's not singing does not mean it's rap music.
Ultimately, this all led up to Iggy Azalea quitting music and becoming an OF model and a crypto entrepreneur. I think she knew she couldn't keep it up, especially when hip-hop legends like Q-Tip started coming out and talking about it. But it goes to show when an industry plan is too obvious, especially when it's built around a gimmick, sometimes the downfall can be just as quick as the rise.
Who was the other one? I feel like we skipped one person, no? Wasn't there one person we didn't talk about? Whatever.
The Puppet.
Okay.
Now, The Puppet is where it gets dark and where I might make some people mad. But these are the artists who became what the industry wanted them to be and not necessarily what they wanted to be. Sabrina Carpenter and Katy Perry deserve honorable mentions here, but if you want to see a full inside look on their stories, I'll link my videos in the show notes. Both of them had mediocre to average success in music until the industry overlords got a hold of them and changed everything about them. Katy Perry was a gospel artist and Sabrina was a wholesome Disney child star. Another artist...
I think that's fair, especially in Sabrina's case, because she really like
Trying to put out music
she
yourself.
she tried, and I feel like her music wasn't as like sexual originally. Like it was regular music, but the moment with that espresso sweet and short or short and
They
sweet,
rewarded her for that.
they basically feels like they gave her that sex, everything sex in that album, and she blew up.
A lot of people talk about in this category would be Tate McRae. Now, if there was ever a person literally bred to be a pop star, it's probably Tate. Tate has actually been famous since she was around 8 years old. Not for music, but she was internationally known as a dancer. Her mom owned a dance company and had Tate in training since she was around 6. Now, everything blew up for her after she posted a YouTube video of her singing an original song called One Day, which has blown up to over 40 million views.
I've understood that you will never be mine, and that's fine.
Now, usually you wouldn't label this kind of rise as industry plant. I mean, Justin Bieber got the same kind of start on YouTube. But her brand shift is where the water gets a little muddy. She had pretty good success as the bedroom singer-songwriter, but even pop fans got caught off guard by her sexy pop diva rebrand. But who we really got to talk about is Lady Gaga. Stephanie Germanotta was playing piano in New York dive bars in 2005. She was doing jazz standards and just wearing normal clothes. And then she got signed to Def Jam at 19, but she got dropped after 3 months. L.A. Reid, he literally signed her and forgot about her. He just wasn't that interested. He thought she was too normal and too boring, not that marketable. So after that, Gaga changed everything. She was ready to be what the industry wanted her to be. She started studying what worked, what got attention. She analyzed Madonna's career. She dumbed down her skills, simplified everything, and focused on one goal: fame. By 2007, she was a completely different person. She was go-go dancing, setting her hairspray on fire. She wasn't Stephanie anymore. She met her producer, Red One, and got hooked up with Akon, and they just went straight up synth pop. But the interesting thing is, she never really...
What song she has with Akon? I don't recall a song with Akon and Lady Gaga.
hid that she was just playing a character. But usually there's a consequence that comes with not being yourself.
I think people, real fans, probably knew deep down that there was something going on.
You know, letting go of who I was before, and I don't mean becoming, you know, Lady Gaga and leaving that behind. That's not what I mean by that. What I mean is, you know, my life is different now.
The whole Joanne era is where the cracks really started to show. She tried to strip down the sound and perform more as Stephanie than Lady Gaga. It was her trying to find herself again. But the public didn't want Stephanie. They wanted the monster. They wanted the spectacle, because that's what sells. But what if you could sell your music whether it was good or not? That's the
You
case.
saw that clearly with her album, like when she wants to put in her own music versus what, you know, she knows what sells.
Yeah, but the puppet. I don't really have a problem with this category. It seems like the category is
Why? Because it means that you're just the product.
right, but they came into the industry by themselves.
Yeah,
it's just
but
the industry changed them. They basically, okay, you want to be big, you got to do this.
yeah, that's why everyone says sell your soul, so you sell out.
Right, they sold out, yes, but they weren't planted.
Well, if they're
they came
doing things
themselves.
that they were planted, because that's not the sound they would do if given the opportunity to. So they were planted. The industry decided we want this sound, so you can't come and do this other sound because that's not what we want to sell, and we will not reward that. You saw that with Sabrina Carpenter. She probably spent how much money?
No, Sabrina Carpenter is obvious. It's like I didn't really know about the other people because, I mean, I don't really know Gaga beginnings, Katy Perry beginnings. I don't know what happened there, but with Sabrina Carpenter, we were here. We reacted to some like the nonsense feather. We saw that. That was very different.
The other plants are way better because at least they're doing what they want to do. These plants, they're not even what they want to do.
We don't know the others are doing what they want to do.
Listen, Katy Perry, she started in gospel.
Oh, she definitely did.
That's a complete left turn.
Yes.
Lady Gaga, she dressed like real. She was a normal girl. Now she's doing all these light, bright colors. Sabrina looked completely like a different woman. This is, I don't know. This category make me believe that if they see me and they want me, they don't want me for what I bring, but what they can transform me to do.
They make out of you? Yeah. Yeah, but Sabrina, like, almost like maybe it makes you feel bad for Sabrina a little bit, because for Sabrina, like, she basically has to have such a her image of herself, like she has to sell. Yeah, like she has to have such a slutty image to
the point where Taylor Swift makes her go on her album to sing, this character is wonder for you. I thought of it. It's like she's gonna be boxed in because she sold out.
Because it's one thing if Sabrina is actually like that in real life, and you know that's the girl she is, then it's cool. There's no problem with that. Then
that's different.
But it's when a person is not like this, I guess sexual, what I don't know what's the word, like she's out there sexually, kind of awkward to put yourself out there like that when you're not like that. So if she's not like that, I almost feel, not almost, I do feel bad for her if that's the case.
That's why I said this tier is not desirable.
For level 4, the Nepo baby. These artists were industry before they were even artists. They grew up in recording studios. They had dinner with label executives, got babysat by other pop stars. They'll talk about their journey, their struggle, their grind, but they had access to producers, writers, studios, nannies. They could fail as much as they want and still get another shot. The Nepo baby has mommy and daddy to give them every opportunity they need. Failure is not possible. Willow and Jaden Smith were destined before they were even born. Willow dropped Whip My Hair at 10 years old on Rock Nation.
That's the I whip my hair back and forth.
And then she got to quit music because it was too much pressure. Then she got to come back whenever she felt like it. She could experiment with rock and indie, whatever sound she wanted, because, I mean, failing had no consequence. Then you got Blue Ivy. Now, she did a good job voice acting on Mufasa, but should she really have a Grammy?
Blue, congratulations. You won a Grammy tonight.
You won a Grammy?
Proud of you.
Your mom is Beyonce. It don't matter what should be. It just is. Now, the next Nepo baby might surprise some of you guys, but yes, Drake is a Nepo baby. The most talented one for sure, but if you don't believe me, I think it's time that we actually meet the Grahams. So, his dad, Dennis Graham, was a drummer who worked with Jerry Lee Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis was one of the pioneers for rock and roll. Then you got his uncle, Larry Graham, who was a singer himself, and he was a bass player for Sly and the Family Stone, one of the most famous funk groups of all time. And then you got his other uncle, Teenie Hodges, who was a songwriter and guitar player for Al Green. Drake was playing on Degrassi and making 50 grand a year when he was a teenager. When that ended, he had money and connections that could fund his own mixtapes. Now, started from the bottom is great branding, but the bottom was middle class with industry connections. But the most successful and possibly the saddest of them all is,
if you're new to Self, let me tell you a little bit about this. We're on a mission to help people build credit, especially
level 5, the Superplant. The Super.
Oh, we see BTS out there.
Go back, let me see what else is here.
The saddest of them all is level 5.
But
the Super
JT, BTS, Blackpink, so the K-pop. But the K-pop, I think it's obvious they're plants though. They're literally like it's a factory machine, right? They're building to plant
Literally,
industry.
the West say, see, they're making money. We can profit on their super fan base. We're gonna use them.
Yeah, I think shouldn't surprise nobody that K-pop is at level 5 here. I think that's pretty accepted.
The Superplant is as close to a robot as you can get. They don't write their own music. They don't choose their image. They don't control their social media. They show up, perform the role they've been given, and then they just collect a percentage. Most of them started from childhood and have even been
the
put through
BTS
development
fan
programs.
base who's gonna fight. They do control their social media.
I think BTS have transcended that now, but I think the beginning was still the part of the machine. I think that's the difference. And to be fair, they did write their own stuff even in the beginning, so that's that.
Grams. There's people that control what they eat.
But then
control what they
again,
say.
all the members, they were not meant to be rappers. They were put into the group to rap first, but then when it became convenient, they said, let's do pop.
They'll pretend to date somebody just because it's good for their image. Their whole life becomes content. And sadly, they're the ones that usually have the most trauma and depression and mental health issues. Britney Spears is probably the most tragic example of the Superplant. When Britney was on the Mickey Mouse Club, it was basically an all-star training camp. You had Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling. They were all kids being groomed for stardom. But when Britney signed with Jive Records when she was 15, they created the whole package for her. Britney could actually sing, but they were giving her baby voice pop songs. And then they even controlled her virginity, because she wasn't a virgin, but they told her she had to tell the public that, so she could stay pure.
I'm just wondering how you feel about all the constant speculation about your virginity and whether you are a virgin or not.
I really wish I would have never said anything to begin with, because I'm kind of stuck in this little place where people are always asking me. But, that's just something that's part of growing up, and that's just something that we all have to deal with, so.
They wanted to keep that young and innocent vibe, but at the same time, they were marketing her to be.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Even to her adulthood, because remember, she was on conservatorship.
That's crazy, man.
Like, they would tell her when she can and cannot get pregnant.
That's crazy.
Like, they made her wear an IUD to prevent her from getting pregnant.
You can do that?
Well, that's the father. The father,
You can force someone to wear.
under the conservatorship, that's what they did. That's what they did.
That's not right. That's legal?
Under the conservatorship, yes. She was under the legal power of attorney of her father. That's why everyone was saying free Britney. And then when she wrote the book, she told
I thought
everything.
it was more about money than anything.
That's why I'm happy she's free. Because now she's somewhat being what she wants to do. But there's a lot of repercussions from that, from what she's gone through.
Wow.
By the time she was in her prime, she had been in the industry so long that she was already starting to lose herself. She got married for 2 days. She beat up a car with an umbrella, shaved her head. The constant pressure of being one of the most famous people on the planet, it completely took over. The conservatorship made it even worse. She was unfit to control her own life, but fit enough to release albums and generate millions of dollars. Then K-pop takes this to a whole nother level. They treat music like it's an Olympic sport. They take 12-year-olds and they call them trainees. They keep them in dorms and they make them practice 16 hours a day. They give them personality types. And then in the end, when a company can't make a profit off of them anymore, they disband the
They
group.
give them personality types.
The MBTIs, I guess. I don't know.
I thought they already test that out. Like that's them.
Well,
but they put them like they kind of dress them up to a type. Like, oh, you're gonna be the bad boy. You're gonna be the cool one. You're gonna be the sweet one.
we don't know if that's their true personality types, right? That's what they say. It could be, but it doesn't have to be. It could just all be an act, we don't know. But personality, the MBTIs, it could be true then. I think that's maybe something hard to fake too. I guess yeah, I think by personality types he meant more like as you said, like the dressing up, oh you're gonna be the cute one, you're gonna be the swaggy one, or whatever. Which then makes you look at like, the all day project Tarzan, for example. Does he even have a choice to do what he does?
Were you silent or were you silent?
Right. Does he? Maybe he doesn't even have a choice about what he wears and everything. Like the sagging pants. I don't know.
That's the deal he signed. He signed a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Asian music markets, what they tend to do is they learn from the American music market of the past, because this goes all the way back to NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. Both of the groups were put together by Lou Pearlman. He was a music manager who both of the groups actually ended up suing in the end. But he held auditions and he picked the members of the group, gave them the music, told them what words to sing. He even did a whole marketing campaign where he put the groups against each other. And the worst of it all, in the contracts, he put himself as one of the members of the group and was stealing money from them. But at the end of the day...
Really? And that's some shit. He put as a member of the group?
Yeah, I can see that. And that's why they sued him at the end.
The Superplant pretty much has no control. Now, there's quite a few artists I didn't get a chance to talk about in the video. So let me know in the...
This is so interesting.
This was a very good video.
Good video.
This was because we've done, the 7 levels of K-pop. That was trash. This was actually good. I don't really have much disagreement with what he said.
Can I see the comments here?
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. Knowing this, would you want to be a plant? I feel like...
No. I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it? Why?
No. I can't fake it. It shows on my face when I can't fake it.
I feel like that's the beauty of YouTube. Because in YouTube, you have the platform and you kind of like, just go with it and do it. And then if someone happens to like you, you create a base.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, like even like if you guys watch our reactions, not just select reactions to select stuff, but a lot of reactions. When I don't like something, just the way my face looks. I can't hide that shit. I try to hold it in sometimes because I don't want to really go in on a person. But it always shows on my face. I don't think I could fake it.
Because sometimes people send us like, oh, can you do this and that? And we're like, well, no.
Yeah, but to kind of address the Superplant, I don't know if BTS is fairly in Superplant. They're a little different from the rest of the K-pop.
It's because they're plucked from South Korea to here in the West.
Yeah, that I think.
And the thing is, everyone's watching them blow up to the point now everyone puts them in their mouth because of clout.
The thing is with BTS is I have changed opinion about them a little bit since we've been watching The Rise of Bangtan, because we do see it's a little different. They actually did have to go through. They come from a small label. It's just a little different. Like I would say, everybody else in K-pop aside from BTS belongs here. BTS.
But I think the point that they go through the trainee system, like for knowing that some of them, they were not even singers or dancers, but they became singers and dancers.
I do think
gives vibes of elements of a plant. They have elements of a plant.
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying they're not a plant. They're definitely a plant. I don't necessarily want to say they belong in the Superplant category.
I think they belong in the Superplant because they were plucked in from one world to another. So for us, well, how we view it is they came out of nowhere.
I would put them in the organic category, together with Billie Eilish, where they kind of portray that they're not a plant. They had to work, but at the end of the day, they did still have a label behind them. They had the whole trainee program. They still had their backs they weren't on the street selling drugs to make this. So
I think no, I think they do belong in the super plant because most people, if they want to start in the organic, like Killeroy, Iggy Azalea, they have to
that's the
come. They
obvious.
have to come. Yeah, but the whole point is they have to come here in the West and started from scratch and came up. BTS was already a thing when they came over here. They came with their super base, their super fan base. That is attracting to these companies because they want control and even replicate it. There's a discussion of it being that the next drop for BTS will be comparison to like Elvis coming back
Yeah, we
again.
just see that. That was the
So
most ridiculous thing I've
imagine
heard, yeah.
people in the West who haven't seen like from the come up because they're not coming up with them, that they're in the industry, they look like a plant and not just a regular plant, a super plant, because you're all the way at the top. You have collabs with these major artists and everyone's wondering how come, and they're on top of the charts. How come? We don't know them, we didn't come up with them. It's like, for example, Michael Jackson existed in another planet. He comes to this planet and he just pops off out of nowhere because the industry knows his effect in another planet. But the people who are in this planet have not a clue, not an idea, or scratch the surface because they only know dynamite, smooth like butter. Because they look like two. If I didn't know their catalog, to me, they would be two hit wonders. That makes you a super plant because unlike, like, for example,
I mean, let's be real here. Right now, they are a two-hit wonder. Well, no, technically they do have a song with Coldplay too, but that was it's so hard to judge because their fan base is so huge.
I would argue they're a super plant and keep it at the super plant.
Their fan base is so huge. They make non-hit songs to be hits by charting them. That's like, because like the song with Coldplay, it wasn't really a hit.
Activities,
but
okay.
looking at the numbers, it was a hit. But I never heard that song nowhere. Like My Universe, right? But because the fan base is so huge, they boosted the streams. They made it number one. You gotta say it's a hit because if you hit number one, it's a hit, right?
I know the West is attracted to the fan base and they want that. That makes you a super plant for me. Did we see all the comments?
We didn't look at the comments. We went on to talk about BTS. They have 50 million streams, but you never heard anybody play their music in real life.
Who they talking about? Who do you think they're talking about here?
Ice Spice. He said that comment about Ice Spice.
I was thinking when I saw this comment, thinking BTS
applies to BTS as well.
It's like I feel like if you can, if you read this and you can think of somebody, they're a plant.
Well, to be fair, okay. We heard BTS a lot on the radio with the Dynamite and Buddy. That was all over the radio.
For you to tell me that they had all those songs,
but to actually hear anybody listen to them
in real life,
I have never heard anybody.
Only on the radio.
I've never heard anybody play them. Yes. Grammys are not about excellence; they are an industry popularity contest. 90% of
I've yet to meet someone who's a BTS fan in real life.
I've yet to meet someone in real life who knows anything about K-pop. Any of them. BTS, Blackpink, any of them.
K-beauty, yes, but K-pop.
I said K-pop. What does that have to do with K-beauty? 90% of mainstream artists don't write any of their music. I mean, that is fair. That's true.
Okay.
It's all Nepo babies now, actually.
What about Taylor Swift?
Well, there you go. Taylor Swift's father worked as a stockbroker, the largest firm in America, Merrill Lynch. He invested so much into
level 4.
The newly formed Luckily Taylor was signed to
level 4, level 5, maybe level 4, level 5.
I would I don't. Yeah, but I don't know much about her history to really categorize her anywhere. Because to me,
she's similar to like Gaga. She didn't start.
Right. She could be like Billie Eilish, where she portrays she's organic, but she's not. But also, she could be, as you said, Gaga, where like she had something in the beginning, didn't work out, and she switched up to like she's the puppet.
She started off with country and then moved over to pop. She didn't want to do. They literally moved her to do country because they said, okay, she could thrive there as a little white girl.
Then I think it's number 3. She's the puppet. But I think the thing is, she was the puppet, but by her buying out her catalog, I think she's not. You can't really call
That's
her a
different.
puppet.
That's
'Cause
different now.
She's
The
the decision
puppet is
maker.
not the puppet master.
Yeah, that's what exactly. The puppet
That's
turned
some
the puppet
boss
master.
stuff.
Yeah,
like,
that was the boss stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I think what's important to in this video, I don't think there's any reason to hate these people for being the plants.
Oh no.
I think if anything, this is more like feel bad for them for being a plants, because
Yeah,
especially
you
like
lack
you
control.
see, yeah, they don't have
Yeah,
control.
and that's why you can see sometimes they either hate influencers or envy them because they're like
'Cause
they
the
live so free.
Influencers have freedom.
They have freedom. They're
They have
free.
freedom. They're
They
not.
can say yes. They can say no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great video though.
Yeah.
Very good video.
Nice. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.